What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 14 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Lokhir Fellheart Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, or I suppose as we ended off last time, after defeating Dastan Cold Eye with a little bit of Dark Elf on Dark Elf action, we ended up here with this little defensive battle at Sigmar's Heim with the Imperials attempting to reclaim their territory. I don't think that's going to happen, and I might normally auto-resolve this, but we haven't seen Executioners, Dread Knights, and Blackguard in action, or at the very least we certainly haven't seen them in action together, so we're going to see it right here. I can't wait for the Executioners to clean house. Their weapon strength is pretty darn crazy for a 60 unit mob. They hit almost as hard as Dread Knights do, in fact, but obviously, like many Dark Elf units, they are very light on the melee defense and rather light on the HP. They have less HP, for example, than Halberdiers and significantly less than something like, I don't know, Great Swords, which is, I guess, a comparable unit, which I believe have 15,000 HP by comparison, and admittedly, I don't know what their defenses are, but I suppose it doesn't matter. Although, on the other hand, this is a garrison army, so essentially this is a somewhat unbuffed stack. Obviously, we don't have the red line or any veterancy or anything to rely upon on these guys, so they're base stats mostly. But anyway, I digress. Let's have some fun. Alrighty, here we go. Should be a fun little fight, although admittedly it's definitely going to be a distributed battle, as the enemy has separated its forces into 4 distinct little mini forces, and their reinforcements are coming in a 5th place as well, meaning we're going to have to defend the place from 5 different locations. Could we have retreated to our main key building and just fought them all there? Yes, but I figure it might be better for a cinematic experience to try to sally out as much as possible, simply because it's kind of difficult to get good camera work in where the units are between all of these buildings. They tend to screw with the camera. Anyway, we've got the Executioners, which look pretty fantastic with our color scheme. Once again, the color scheme of Lokhir is working for me. And we'll see how those big old swords of theirs do, and whether the lack of a proper melee defense hampers them too much. And get the Blackguard of Karond over on this side, deployed specifically to shadow the deployment of the enemy Ogre Man-Eaters, as they're the biggest threat on the field, and will have to be dealt with a little bit of anti-large. Over on the, well, I guess over here, we've got both units of Cold One Dread Knights to face off against the Bretonnian Cavalry, and I guess we can watch them fight a little bit here. The enemy has deployed, I believe, 2 or 3 units of mounted yeomen, the Wardens of the West, and in addition to that, they've got Dreckwald Riders and Empire Knights in here, which I actually really enjoyed using in the Karl Franz campaign. The only thing that separates them from the other units of the Knights, of the Empire Knights, is that Strider ability, but Strider is a very, very nice thing to have, and it does allow them to position themselves and get those nice charges in quite well. Not caring about the terrain is pretty big on a unit that you want to be able to move around and reposition quickly. Anyway, the Dread Knights are doing good work, and it looks like most of the mounted yeomen are booking it on out of there, those maces crunching through armor and bone and they'll probably do the same to the enemy Empire Knights as well. Over on this side, the Executioners have minced 1 unit of Grey Mountain Band Men-at-Arms and are in the process of attempting to mince the Halberdiers as well. Though, as we can see, they have taken some damage. Combat is even, but they're down to about half of their HP, though not half in terms of their models. So, once again, this is the thing about these guys and about, well, plenty of Dark Elven roster units. Super high melee attack, great damage, a low melee defense and HP. But hey, it's still working, and you gotta remember, they'll power up significantly as these guys have murderous mastery rather than murderous prowess as soon as enough damage has been dealt and taken. These guys also have their own army now, of course, so as soon as that Blackguard gets into combat, we'll see them and how they work with buffs to their name as well. Out here, what do we got? The Blackguard of Karond have certainly held off those Ogre Man-Eaters. Anyway, special aura. What do these guys have? Okay, if I could just game, please. Sons of Nagron, unbreakable for lords and heroes. Oh, it's kind of a useless aura, to be perfectly honest. Why is it a useless aura? Because you could just use you could just put a master in the army, and that will apply unbreakable to the lord wherever they are on the map. Hardly a need for the aura. Not that that's a big deal. Anyway, these guys are going to probably make rather quick work of the poor enemy halberdiers here. As far as elite halberds are concerned, or halberd infantry are concerned, the Imperials probably have some of the worst ones, though admittedly in SFO at least, you can get them to pretty darn great heights. And only worse in terms of a one-to-one comparison. Directly, if you compare costs, they're still pretty darn solid, as they're very cheap and quite effective at what they do. Just very low armored and thus vulnerable to a lot of things. Anyway, the bounce power has shifted to about 70% in our favor. The Cold One Dread Knights have defeated all of the enemy cav and are now amongst the poor enemy huntsmen, who are not going to be hunting the Cold Ones down. Although that, I think, should hardly be of any surprise, and these are actually archers rather than huntsmen, which is even worse. Poor archers. Archers, are they the most useless unit in the game? It's got to be between, I was about to say, it's got to be between archers and skink cohorts with shields rather than javelins, because I pretty much never build those rather than the javelin variant. But on the other hand, they still have a use, and I'd rather use them than Empire archers, so yeah. What's a more useless unit, if anybody can think of one? I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, I digress. Halberdiers charging forward towards the Dark Shards because the Dread Spears were busy chasing down the last of the Grey Mountain band there, but that's alright, as the tower still has the Dark Shards back, and it looks like these Halberdiers will break anyway. Otherwise, the bounce power's at 80-85% in our favor. All of the enemy attempts at, all the enemy assaults on four different places have failed, and only one place remains where the reinforcements have arrived. The Dread Spears have not fought at all in this particular battle as yet, and looks like they will be able to completely block off this entrance into the settlement, wherein these poor mounted yeomen are attempting to break through. That, I think, is not liable to happen, or likely rather to happen. But hey, they've got more Bretonnians where that came from, and it is nice to see the mix of Bretonnian and Imperial units for Sigmar's Heim in particular, considering its location. Alright, and it's more halberds. I gotta appreciate that. I have a tendency to spam halberds myself when playing the Empire. Gotta spam something, because if left to my own devices, I'll just keep building Free Company militia units. But anyway, I'm just gonna have to hold these guys off with a single unit of Dread Spears for now. Gonna help them out a little bit, though, with the Shadows of Anlek, army-bound ability, or defensive structure, whatever bound ability, going through the enemy ranks, and looks like doing enough damage to them in combination with army losses to send them scurrying out of there, and giving the battle to us. Alright, certainly some of our swords, Bleak Swords, Harganeth Executioners, have taken damage, but again, as we see, damage is not necessarily the same thing as unit losses, and some of our Dread Knights have taken a bit of hurt as well. But all good. Either way, it was no problem, and the enemy had no real chance here, which is why we were free to sally out and not really be worried about the settlement. Still, nice fight, nice to see every unit. We'll see them again. Alright, there we go. A very nice little fight. Unsurprisingly, the Harganeth Executioners did a fair bit of damage and got a fair bit of kills as well, but also took a fair bit of damage as well due to their lack of HP and their lack of melee defense. The Blackguard of Nagron don't look like they did as much in the way of kills, but they had to deal with the Grand Cauldron Regulars, which was the most threatening unit by far on the enemy team, which does make sense for us to use their halberds against them. And then, of course, lastly, at around 30,000 damage, the Cold One Dread Knights, with their massive charge as well as that lethal poison, certainly helping out quite a bit. Lovely. Alright, next time they come around, we'll just auto-resolve, because obviously they had no chance here. I just wanted to make sure we had a little fun with those elite units. Anyway, I guess we don't really need to replenish here. Oh, actually, 700 saves might be good. We have 1 turn left of materials at sea, so we should probably make use of it. Granted, the money will be useful for that as well, but this will enable us to rush a tier 5, I think, so let's do that. Alright, what do we have here? Torture them to death, +2 control for all provinces, minus a little bit of money in exchange for loyalty. Alright, let's give this a read. A lord has become aware of a plot that threatens your rule and comes to your court to bring the conspirators in chains. Ah, yes, I remember this. We've already read that one. Your wrath will be as merciless as it is bloody. Summon the troops and the populace to the center square. They shall have a spectacle they will not soon forget. All right, free public order, which will be great because we are still dealing with that Confederation debuff from the Corsairs of Spite. Though, admittedly, I do think that it was very much worth it, as and we are on the approach to the Pass of Stone. And I did feel like one of the win conditions for the campaign was to get the Sword of Cain for Lokhir. Does he need it? But it would be nice to have, wouldn't it? Anyway, Guardians of the Valley mission aborted. Confederation Clan Gouger destroyed. Oh, finally. We were waiting for that to happen. And Nemesis Crown, Legion of Setep. Oh, that had to be all the way down here, didn't it? Not that we care that much about it, to be perfectly honest. Not as much as the sword. Anyway, what do we have here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more techs until we get the Lord of the Sea. And while there's a lot of good techs in here as well, I kind of feel like we gotta get Lord of the Sea for Lokhir. Let's go with Release the Kraken next, just for the charge bonus at sea. Again, it helps us with the... hopefully, with the blockade attacks from the Black Arcs. I assume that is its purpose. As to whether it actually is, I'm not sure. Anyway, Reichland, you have just gotten a nice little confederation for yourself, isn't it cute? We're gonna have Clan Eshin, a friendly little assassin rats. We're gonna join your war. There we go. Alright. And Lokhir, you... Oh, I should really move the tech thieves. Okay, let's do this and then I'll move the tech thieves. Go grab Bogenhofen. Come on. Lokhir was the shadow over Bogenhofen all along. Anyway, auto-resolve and sack for obvious reasons and stopping some... Oh, no. Okay, no, we're okay. Hey, we got a free guiding eye, though. That's nice. Lovely. And then you can sack this place as well, I think. And, yeah, sack it. And stop moving this time, please. Oh, thank you. All right. And, hey, a Banner of Swiftness. Another nice one. Huh, do I have that on cameraing? I'm not sure. I gotta double check. Occupy, please. Why occupy? Just because this has a ford. We gotta go across the river to sack Tom and then move to South Bank. Do we really care about Altdorf? No. But it is on the sea and it does provide 3 ports. Well, actually 2 ports, doesn't it? So, should be pretty good. Anyway, you look... Oh, so South Bank won't provide us a main port, eh? I guess we could grab Karlberg. I don't really care about holding territory in the Empire, though. On the other hand, we are, like, 10 sorceresses short. It's life. Anyway, we're always way too many sorceresses short for the amount of Black Arcs that we have. Like, I think none of these. We got like 5 or 6 Black Arcs, or actually counting these, like 8 Black Arcs, none of which have the capacity to get a sorceress. Oh well. Oh well, what can you do? Well, guess I'll just have to play without it for now, without the advent of magics, I guess, and then maybe over time we'll capture a few more territories. There are coastal territories here which are up for grabs in theory. Anyway, aggression for you, sir. Mathland's blessing, and then keep on going southward. Yeah, so see, this guy, no capacities, so no sorceress, and not even a Black Arc Reaver. Death Hag might be nice as well, but I don't think it would work very well for this particular army because they want to kite. Anyway, let's start with the tech thievery because I'm going to forget and then, you know, accidentally take territories, and that's not good. Tech thievery is pretty important after all. And we got like, what, 9 more turns, I think, until the next sacrifice to give them 100% success chance, so it's gonna take a bit. Anyway, Siphon of Knowledge. Why don't you siphon some knowledge, would you? Success, very nice. Alright, well done. And Tech Thief, ooh, you have leveled up. Steel Tech, power that up, and let's move on to land. And another fail. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Oh, and that was the last turn, too. You had... You blew it. Anyway, check the EU Castle Artois. You succeed, and I think we have, what, one or two more? Two more. Alright, you here at Strovengard before it gets besieged, please, and a success as well. Very nice. Ultressa Krakenklaw. You're not making good use of that Krakenklaw trait, considering you don't have enough... interesting that the land-based armies can get the same trait. Anyway. Success. Whoa, was that a very low success chance? Oh, I should have moved you out of this territory to a different territory, shouldn't I have? Yeah. You should move to, I guess, Landrel Barrow, I guess. I'll make sure to do that if I remember by the next turn, which, you know, possibly and possibly not. Hellisphere, what are you again? Monomonaka, oh right. You know, I was going to pop you into Cirire's army because she wants more sorceresses because she's Medusa-based, and Medusa armies want to make use of this for the additional melee defense, which is great. The thing is, considering our dearth of sorceresses, I'm actually kind of inclined to say maybe we want... Well, this army needs a fire sorceress, that's the case. What about you? You could have really any kind of sorceress. Maybe we'll just pop it into your army instead. I was gonna use a dark sorceress in your army, but you know what? I think we need to spread the sorceresses out to more armies, so let's pop that into your army. And just to double check, did we get... We should have gotten one more capacity. Yes, yes. Alright, so... Cooldown versus Greater Magic Bond. We'll do you. Mara, you're going to join Admiral Rinmo in order to add fire damage to the Reaper bolt throwers and thereby power up their damage at range, hopefully considerably so. Alright, which means you two are, I guess, not moving for the turn. Alright, so just sit here. Just beside each other. You guys are gonna be friends. Alright, there we go, and then we'll move them both out next turn. Just gotta remember who gets what sorceress. Anyway, you... Well, okay, we may or may not have some stuff... Huh, I deleted a building here, presumably to build the harpy cages. I'm gonna assume that was the case. Let's at least start building the harpy cages. And then you're kind of in the same position, but you lack... Huh, wait, you lack nothing. You have executioners, you built the Cainite building. Yes, yes, you did. Everything you have is already buffed. I mean, I guess we could build another building just for... Maybe I shouldn't have bothered deleting the Estates of the Masters or the Arena. You know what, I guess we'll build the Arena back, just in case this army is near to other territories where we want to... wait, 1, 2, 3 purple buildings. What? Oh, I see. It's this. It's Dreadmance. No, we have Dreadmance. It's the Harpy cages. We just don't have the. Growth. Ah, almost fooled myself. Alrighty, back to doing stuff. Anyway, Cammering, you did. Oh, I actually just had an idea with you. I was gonna have you sack Castle de Fleuve, but wait. I wanted to trade some stuff. Yes, but we can do that here. I'm gonna cross this. Go here. I have idea. You are going to besiege Castle Gisoro, I guess. You're rank 10 now. You are rank 10. Huh. What if that means we should switch you to... Oh, wait. We gotta gamble first. The most important thing. Supreme Sorceress Fertility Rights. You want a... aristocratic name of power. Influence the province. Alright, big money. What do we have here? Cane Marked gives us... Excuse me? That's a... How is that... What? That doesn't sound like it buffs the province does... I mean, okay, fair enough, it does give a -5 corruption, but this is much better than the buff that we're currently using for our executioners, eh? Huh. I wasn't expecting that. What is this? The Black Conqueror. Income from sacking and looting... Okay, so neither one of those... This one doesn't have to help the province at all. What are you talking about, game? Why are you lying? Okay, well, while that does amuse me... Huh. I guess we could pop in a Cainite army for you. Kind of what I wasn't expecting. We'd have to reset you because we'd need to build different units than what you currently have. But I don't dislike the idea of Cain marked. Just that you're not the kind of lord I was going to have lead this type of army, but whatever, type to Cain. What's the likelihood that we get another one of these? Alright, and then that does mean we'll have to reset you because of the line breaker thing, because we are not going to get any uses out of it. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, but the fertility rights is such a waste here, then. Ah, okay. Man, if we could recruit these guys at rank 10, I tried to gamble for one that would be... And that would be nice with that Cain marked one. Well, we'll reset you for now. We do have other Black Ark armies to build, and then we'll see. If nothing else, we might still get some use out of that. And if we don't, we don't. It's all good. Anyway, what I would like you to do is two things. First of all, go kill this little army. Yeah, distraction. Always destruction. Okay, this better not have moved super far away in terms of taking all of our movement range. Alright, now to resolve this for obvious reasons. Yeah, and then grab the tiny bit of cash. A tiny bit of cash this time. And then I'd like you, in March stance, I think, to go here. Cammering, I would like you to sack Castle of Gisoro. I was tempted to occupy Gisoro just for the additional sorcerer's capacity, but I also don't want to introduce additional... There's no port here. I don't want to introduce additional admin. We've got Gisoro, Languerre de Lac. Where are the other territories? Oh, De Fleuve's right here. Oh, it's up here, isn't it? Yeah. Probably not going to bother going all the way up there, right? Too bothersome. Alright, we're not going to bother with that then. You, sack this real quick. I've got my reasons, so let's do this. And then you'll sack this again. These guys are really not liking us after all this. Go figure. Then, I would like you to move right... Okay, you know what? Maybe actually move out of the zone of control of this particular area. You're still a defensive army and all that, but... I would like you to trade... one... Wait. Give up one Black Ark Corsair. We'll make you into a handbow. And we'll want to give up Lokhir's Dread Eyes and the Fear Shooters. And... I'll leave one more room. I guess we could give up one of these Dark Shards back, and then I'll have 2 and 3. Wouldn't ain't the worst thing. Why not? 2 and 3. Even it out. Hopefully it's not too much. Okay, and this one, unfortunately, will have to get deleted unless there's something else that we want to delete here, but I don't think we care enough about bothering with that. So, you are out. You shall become handbows. Call it an upgrade, and then Mr. Assassin, you're going to pop into this army, and then that will be the final form of Cammering's army. I just really didn't see too much use out of those... wow, you really need to channel. Oh, actually, you don't need to channel because you don't have a mage, and you probably never will, so yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, I didn't really see too much use out of the Dark Shards in that particular army. I think that the buff that the Cainite Assassin will provide via the Guiding Eye will be enough to at least partially counter the loss of one of our Dark Shards. Increased accuracy and range is decent, and then you can also help with single entities, and then one of you can, you know, wade into melee as needed. Anyway, let's get back to doing stuff. Selveth, alright, so let's take a look at what we've got going on here. So Admiral Iliarch, you are here for several reasons. First, you are going to grab your 2 Bloodwrack Shrines. You are now going to need Black Ark Reavers and an Assassin, or an Assassin. Well, no, probably not an Assassin. Maybe a Master. Yeah, probably just a Sorceress. What you will definitely want is some of those Creeping Dread, but I think you'll build them for yourself. Eventually. For now, I think you can get moving. And I think maybe, since you're a Corsair army, and I think that's the most appropriate army to establish dominance of the waters, we will send you through the island chain down to the south. There's chaos and stuff to potentially fight down there, but also there, well, we'll see. We'll see what's down there. It depends on what's survived, right? Admiral Omnamba. You have the massive pile of melee to plus the War Hydras to act as your anchoring points. Now the question is... Let me get Poppin' Kane's Fury with this one. What's the effect? Oh, the effect range is actually quite small. Probably not worth it then. Alright, you're probably just gonna have to wait until Blood Brews, but you can build your own. So I think what we'll do is... we'll send you down there as well. But have you go through this and then head down to the coastline, see what the Horn of Araby and the other coasts would do to us, or we could send you all the way down here. So you're moving down there. That's one, Admiral Koval. We definitely need another. I can also send the Blackguard down there. Yeah, you know what? Let's send you this way first, and then we'll see what else we have going. Alright, we'll get you your heroes and such after. Let's get your Route Marcher, because you've got a long way to travel, sir. Good luck. You as well. Oh, you already have Route Marcher. Good. You don't have any new capacities? No. Oh, I should have double-checked. Well, I think I did double-check. Never mind. Don't listen to me. Ignore me. I'm crazy. Okay, so you two, you need to still be recruiting for at least a little bit longer. The only issue there is that we might have to spend all of our money due to this being the last turn of materials at sea, so you're gonna have to wait. Let's do the rest first. Satilla, you guys are gonna swap some units around. Alright. So Twern, you were waiting for one more turn because we absolutely need the Palace of Dread Knights, because you're getting 2 Cold One Dread Knights and then the Regiment of Renown, but you are free to upgrade this. Actually, maybe you're not, because we might need to give you money. Might remove those bolt throwers as well, I'll see. Alright, anyway, Satilla, just sit there for now. Let's move everybody else around, like Mr. Conwovale. You can grab this island, and then that island, and then find some Kislevites while grabbing more islands. Or Norskins, or Chaos, it doesn't really matter. Everybody should be scared when they see a Black Ark, if they can actually see the Black Ark when it's shrouded in mystical fog and all that, but they should be scared when they see one off the coast. And oh wow, fantastic! Canvovale another materials at sea just before the other one ends. Isn't it lovely? Loss of reload time reduction as an increase of missile damage. Is that worth it here? You have decent. You know what? Keep it for now. I don't know whether you'll keep it forever, but hold on. At the very least, in your current state, you won't need to waste too much more time recruiting. I do want to get you a monster, but then maybe the next time you need to heal or build something or something. Aggression. And then can you go into March stance, full speed stance? Yes. Head to the next island, and we can stop on by a Dietershafen. Isn't it lovely? And then pick up a few more islands on the way. I think this is a port, or this is certainly a port. Arengrad's over there, should we desire it. And we got more frenzy. Beautiful. Alright, Conmovale's doing real well, but hardly surprising since he commands the Tower of Blessed Dread. Sirra, your army's almost done, just a few more adjustments, but we'll take a look at that after the other stuff is done. Balthanol, I wanted you to... Well, actually, I wanted you to do 2 things. Pick up the Sea Corpse, rather. I wanted you to pick up the Tower of Llenog, though it looks like Hellebron and this guy are moving over there. Huh. You know... Hover over here. I wouldn't want the Lost Ericsons to grab the Tower of Llenog, and if Crone Hellebron loses her main stack attacking it, she might be willing to confed us next, well, in 3 turns, so let's not help them for now, and just sort of hover around, waiting to pounce as needed. Also grab that island while we're there. Approach a carcass, and see if we get anything nice out of this, out of reserve for obvious reasons, and we'll just heal up. Earthing Rod. Okay, just the money, but that's fine. Alright, then hover around here. And I believe this place doesn't actually have walls, right? Yeah, when outside Wood Elf Ogre or Norscan homeland, I guess this place isn't able to be walled up, maybe partially because it's on a swamp. So we could, in theory, attack it at the same time. Wait, when inside Wood Elf, adds defenses... Oh, it's a minor settlement battle. That's fine. These guys could clear it just fine. Oh, we can also build stuff potentially, like... maybe the Dreadmance rather than the K-Nitrine. We don't really need the K-Nitrine here, although it is nice to have K-Nitrines, generally speaking. And this thing will generate more cash. Build the first level, at least. Alright, looks good to me. Who is after Balthanol? Should be the other... Wait, no. Caliph. I was about to say it was the other shade-centric one. Hello, what do we have here? Goblin Bolt Throwers. That is a Black Kraken Armada little army, and they're going after our Malicey little friend here. I could probably kill them. Ooh, sack value of this place isn't too bad at all. Considering it's a minor settlement, I was expecting less, so I'm happy about that. You are... We're gonna wow, Strength Rack 6 Hag Grief? Okay, I don't foresee Malice joining us, but oh well. Nonetheless. Maybe he'll get into a proper war with Imric and lose some stuff, especially since Imric doesn't seem to want to come out and play. Man, Caliph has certainly been around this coastline, hasn't he? Caused havoc all over this place. Remember all the trades that we did with the territories here? Huh. And I see that somebody ended up destroying this place as well. Fantastic. Are these guys friendly again? Probably do something about that. Also, how is Khalida doing? I wanted her to go for a defensive line, so that's not quite there, but we can probably make it happen eventually. We'll see. Anyway, it's not really our problem unless they're willing to pay us. Anyway, you go kill this real quick. And yeah, it's mostly hobgobs, and while hobgobs are certainly not to be underestimated, the AI isn't good enough to use them to decent effect to be of any real threat. Anyway, I'm gonna go here and you're gonna get ready to go for Kolgulzar. Do you wanna wait, end the turn here in the Sea of Dread? Might heal more. Or would you? Seems to be healing the same amount. Alright, fine. Just go into Dread Expansion, heal up, and then get ready to hit those oil rigs. If we can't use their oil, then no one will be able to use it. We'll just obliterate it all. Anyway, you... I mean, I guess you could stop by at Henday real quick if you wanted to. It hasn't really been rebuilt, has it? We could make another visit to Newland. They've been repairing it. It's kind of out of our way, though. Keep going. Might send you down the River Reich, and then Mr. Grey Vanquisher. What do we have here? Yeah, you're going the same way, more or less, so keep on going. I like so. Alright, I take it there's no islands that I missed up here. I don't see any. Alright, dang, you can move a lot further. Oh, well, I guess this guy came from further, so I guess maybe that makes sense. If he actually did come from further, I'm not 100% sure. Not paying that much attention. Alrighty. And we really do need to send like a proper army up to Albion, because they've got a lot of territories that are inland only. Anyway, Admiral Rinma... Okay, yeah, you're sitting here for now, and same with Xarian. Anybody else here needs to move? You're fine, you're fine-ish. Admiral Twern, we just can't move right now because we need to give him the... missing troops? Who are you again? Oh, right, you're fine. You are just recruiting for now. You're just a carrier. Koval has moved, and I believe that's it. Alright, so there's just a couple more critical things to do. Ooh, wait. Where's that annoying... Yo. One day this assassin will kill the Hand of the Shadow Crown. Come on. I don't actually know whether these guys are killable, but you're just gonna keep trying until either you die or he dies. Oh, there it goes. all the... and he finally succeeds. Alright, you're gonna be sticking around as our one and only assassin, though admittedly, well, we do have limited Sons of Murder capacity, so there is that to consider. You're a Druki Sharpeye. I believe I was gonna put you into Siraray's army, was I not? Oh, Lethal Shadow is commanding the, or is gonna help with the Death Runners. I don't know whether they actually fit particularly well in this army, but I'll think about it. We'll see in a bit. In fact, what are you? Are you a Blood Bruise? You are a Blood Bruise. So still useful, and you're a Blood Bruise as well, so you're gonna head into one of these Black Arcs. Alright, the rest of that looks good to me. So we got the critical little bit of building. Make use of that materials at sea and such. Now, I guess in theory we want to go through everything so that if we want to rush some stuff like you, Bilbali. 900 is a fair bit of an expense, but why not? What are we missing here? You don't have much in the way of the guild halls, but you could in theory still make more money using the slave market. On the other hand, the Dragon Hatchery will at least provide... Oh, you don't have a Canine Shrine? Okay, we gotta build a Canine Shrine for the capacities. I was gonna say we could go for the Dragon Hatchery as well, because it still provides us the exotic animals as a resource. Maybe it's worth more? Or at the very least, it's worth... Plus it generates some money. Yeah, fine, just do it, whatever, I don't care. Alright, good enough. Now, back to looking through everything. We could rush these as well, but since we now have more materials at sea turns, we don't need to take as much time. Rest of that looks good. Yes, upgrading you two. Huh, wait, I didn't build a canine shrine here, did I? Maybe I should have forgone the slave market, because we didn't... Because we built the black roads at Sahagun due to the reductions in money. Although it might be worth more... Wait, why didn't I... Oh, I was going to delete this, and then I didn't, because I'm an idiot. Huh, well then if we build another guild halls here, maybe it would be worth to build the slave market building. Alright, fine, build it then. Screw it, it's fine, everything's fine, nobody panic. And keep the halls of ravaging, I guess. Come from trade tariffs +5, it's fine, it's fine. We don't make a crazy amount in terms of trade. In fact, we make less from trade than we do from our black arcs, so, yeah, no, I'll leave that alone. Anyway, you definitely build up the Dread Bulwark and the Bordelot Wine Market. In fact, I'm kind of tempted to upgrade this immediately. 5091 up to 5515, yeah, it's a fair bit of increase, and due to the sheer amount of extra resources gained, so definitely worth it. Definitely want to get another Tower of Dark Rituals. Want those everywhere. And here we do actually have a fair few of those guild halls, so we will probably want to make this a fairly decently money-making province, but that doesn't mean we can forgo a sorceress's abode, because we need these everywhere. And we're going to rush you immediately as well. And we want to rush you immediately. This will give us additional growth rate. Yeah, maybe. Actually, I'm curious. 10% income from Black Arcs increase. 55555. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was way more than I was expecting. Huh. It's like 800 gold. Interesting. Okay, well, we definitely can't skip getting any of these anywhere. And I guess there should be... Oh, that's... I was about to say there should be another one buildable here, but there isn't. But that's alright. Build you, and... We don't have one of these in Grouse, so we can forego the slave market building, meaning I think we're just going to go for the Dreadmance and the Harpy building. Alright, so build both of those, and we'll see what else we need to rush later. Brian, you can be rushed. We will upgrade the Dread Bulwark. Then here we can definitely build a Shrine of Cain, and most definitely both build and rush the Tower of Dark Rituals. Perfection. Ooh, yes, more Black Arc income. I love to see it, and hey, wouldn't you know it, another Tower of Dark Rituals. And rush you immediately. Just gotta keep an eye on our slaves running out. You already have the sorceress structure. You only have 3 territories, but you can still probably make some money out of guild halls, but for now, I guess we need more Sons of Murder, so start with the Shrine of Cain. I'd rush it, but I don't think we have enough resources to do so. Anyway, well, let's see what else. Castle Akutan, you're ready for an upgrade, and that means you're ready for a Tower of Dark Rituals. And we're ready to immediately rush it. There we go. It's about a little over 700 gold per rush. Definitely worth it every time. You can also, I guess, build... Yeah, go for the Artisan's House. This place will generate decent amounts of cash. Despite the ports, mind you, with the lack thereof. You, Ferignac, yes. And yes to the Tower of Dark Rituals, and yes to the rushing of it. Fantastic. This is what I usually do between the episodes, mind you, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. What about money buildings? I'll go for the Shrine of Cain. Again, we probably need the capacities for Sons of Murder. There's a lot of Black Arc Corsairs, or Black Arc Reavers, rather, that we're missing. Do we want to rush either of these two? They're a little bit expensive right now, and while we have the new turn of the... materials, let's say it's not critical. We could rush this, but then the expense is kind of insane in that territory. Now, this thing is just construction time, but it's also a lot to rush it, so maybe we'll wait on that. Breakwater, we're going to maybe trade away or abandon. Don't really care about those. Castle Paravent. I was going to abandon you or sell you off, maybe to these guys, so we'll just leave you as you are. And then Sud, you're kind of in the same position. In fact, are you guys able to pay us for Paravent right now? 2k, and you've broken all the agreements? Well, not with Kuran. Admittedly, that one I don't care as much about. Isn't a lot of money. Alright, let's give them a little bit of time. Funny enough, we could probably make a non-aggression pact with them, but, well, all good. Alrighty, now, you guys... Let's see what we're looking at. So, Admiral Lucius Beastbinder. He is a Beastbinder, but of course, all the Black Ark should have some Black Ark Corsairs. I do want the Bloodrack Shrines with the... Black Guard. Although I do wonder what manner... this army is going to look. What do you buff other than Blackguard? Anything really? Just a massive increase to their armor. Could make a small little Death Star in this army, sort of centered around the Blackguard. Might be an interesting way to go about it. You're going to need Blackguard Corsairs, and do you guys have arenas? Ah, you do not. Alright, so let's build the arenas for you. They're temporary, but you'll still need them. Oh, actually, you'll be able to upgrade to tier 4 next turn, so maybe we'll wait on that one. And you will technically all need the slave holds as well. Ah, you know what, just build them both, because I'm going to forget, and then, you know. There you go. Alrighty, the extra turn or so waiting isn't going to make that much of a difference. The rest of you have moved. We now have a little bit of spare cash, so we can still invest in the upgrades here. You cannot upgrade. You are in March stance. I believe one of these guys was able to upgrade as well. Actually, no, it wasn't one of these guys, it was somebody else. Alright, I'm not going to bother looking for whoever it may have been. And then you guys. Alright, so assuming that you... how many of the Blood Rack Shrines do we want here? I guess it's a question. Maybe 3? Let's do 3. Upgrade you to Shrines. This is the Medusa army after all. We also want the Pain Song Siren in here, and in theory we want... Yeah, alright, so we'll move Man-Thing, yes, or Elf-Thing, yes. And the Assassin out of this army. It's just not going to work with the sort of slowdown type of deal that we got going here. We'll pop it into a different one. You are then going to provide Guiding Eye to the Medusa so that they can fire. You're going to provide Slow. And then I wanted 2 sorceresses, plus I guess the Pain Song Siren. Admittedly, the Pain Song Siren does fire damage and causes fire weakness, which is nice that we don't really have here otherwise. So it could, in theory, go to another army. Now, I'm going to think about that. Oh, you also don't have a Death Hag. Do you want a Death Hag, I guess is the question. Cauldron of Blood will provide, well, it will provide physical resistance, like, but it's only when they're engaged in melee. You know what, maybe not for this army. Maybe it'll be okay. Alrighty, you then. I guess it's time to move. Let's go all the way out to the edge of our town. Oh, wait, don't march stance. We're gonna channel. You will get a few other things in your army afterwards. Pain Song Siren and then something else, maybe even another, maybe another shade with great swords. You are a Grey Vanquisher after all. Yeah, whatever, I'll think about it. Either way, I believe we're good to go now. Yes, let's end the turn, let's find some more fighting, shall we? What do we have here? Boots of Brachus. Rikarth is going to be upset about this. We lose 5 loyalty from Valician Canemark. Shouldn't matter because we can counteract it pretty much immediately. Free Boots of Brachus, I think it is. Yes. Have we read this one? I don't remember if we have in this campaign. A Beastmaster has been caught digging up the remains of Brachus, the legendary mount that once belonged to the Beast Lord Rikarth, a distant relative of your lord. As a Beastmaster is an influential figure, the lord asks you to adjudicate over the matter. It's just a dead horse. Entombing animals, what has the realm come to? Have the sorcerers turned those bones into something useful? Alright, and free skull helmet from Sirare versus 20 growth for all provinces, not bad. Hold the line passive. It's not bad where we lack it. Yeah, fine. The reason I'm fine losing the loyalty right now is this. Dark Pegasus for whoever that is. Yeah, great for... Oh, he also got a frickin' Cold One Chariot. No, not for Masters. It's a waste. Who are you? Ilrashen. Go for, I don't know, Cold One. Which army are you in? You're in this army. Alright, we're gonna keep them on Cold Ones to command the Dread Raiders and the Blood Trail Chasers. It makes more sense. Anyway, what I was getting at is because of this. Sacrifice to Authority is up, meaning on turn start, Lords have a chance to gain 2 loyalty. Plus the control and the Dictat cost is also nice as well. Beautiful. There we go. All the negatives counteracted. Then we wait 5 turns, and then we pop the Sacrifice to Hecartian and immediately get that Tech Thievery up in higher... form, degree, whatever. You grab that steel tech, would you? Alright, and go. Yes, fail. Oh, I was so excited too. Anyway, let's Mr. Rikarth. Lokhir, I don't know, sack Tom we could, I guess. The Beastmen were kind of... I guess they sacked Tom already? Well, either way, it's on the way to South Bank, so... Krakenfels isn't worth much either. Alright, I'll resolve this. And oh, wow, that should not have hurt us that much. Well, sack. And please don't go that way. Kill this little rebel army. And then auto-resolve it. Like, so hopefully we run into a proper stack here somewhere. Alright, where's Karl Franz? The South Bank or Altdorf itself is under threat. Alright, Administrator, you certainly don't need a cold one. Alright. Although you might after all that administrating you're doing, but anyway. Lokhir, you pop into raiding stance, please, and then raid South Bank. There we go, making decent amounts of money from it. I wonder what's the sack value of the place. 14k only. I mean, I guess we got a little bit spoiled by that Hook on the Sunderer debuff. Or buff, I guess, that we were getting earlier, making us a lot better at that sort of thing, but all good. Alright, how's Elendilling doing? Still liking us? Don't like the past treaties with Corsairs of Spite, and that's going to be decreased. Alright, Canmore Vale, and grab this little island. Too bad we can't grab Schlagkugel with these guys and then trade it to these guys yet. But all good. Explore the island, auto-resolve, and see if we get anything interesting out of this one. Alright, Whip of Misery. He just get 2 materials at sea in a row. Alright, that basically maxes out our admin for the rest of the campaign. Convovale, very nice job, sir. Very nice indeed. And I won't say no to the free Whip of Misery, I guess. Misery for all, after all. Anyway, you do not need to build anything, I take it? Yeah, I'm going to build this dragon tower here. I just want to max out his Black Ark. That was, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of gold worth of materials at sea by doing it in the sort of late game and in the,
Very well.
and successively and all that. Anyway, you guys. Alright, so Alarian, you're going to have to move back around and deal with these Imperials. They are starting to get annoying. You could, in theory, go this way, but I guess why bother? You go here. That Castle Gisoro again on the way, because it's funny. It doesn't really give us anything other than annoy these guys, but hey, we must only use our powers to annoy, and then proceed to Langard de Lac, and then through it. Camring. We stopped your sacking of Castle des Fleuves and Theraville, which is actually worth a decent amount, so let's sack those now. Out of resolve. And sack. Dark Star Cloak, and who do we have here? Fortburg Bray. And we could actually, we could move you to threaten Elftown. Interesting. I wasn't planning on that with you specifically, but it's not a horrible option either. Auto resolve. And sack it. And Engineer's Knapsack? Knapsack. Knapsack and another factor. A Dark Steed for Sorceress of Fire. Oh, you're Tech Thief. I'm gonna say block army, but no, obviously the Tech Thief does not need the Dark Steed. What you do need to do is steal tech. And you need to not fail at it twice in a row. Come on now. And, Lokhir's reached rank 50. Good for him. Alrighty, Lokhir. I think it did that thing where it went from 40 to 50, but that's fine. Alrighty, so Lokhir, I would like you to grab, obviously Woundmaker and obviously Deadly Onslaught, leaving us with 8 points to apply. Full plate armor is okay, but it's 15 armor instead of 30 and isn't anything crazy. I don't dislike Expeditious Endeavor because I like speed maxing every possible lord I can find. Assuming that we grab Devastating Charge rather than full plate armor, which will leave us with 4, and we'd have to, I guess we can go for Sadistic. For going Eternal Hatred, because it's not great, to be perfectly honest. It's only when fighting High Elves that we get 10, and 6% weapon strength for 1 point is kind of meh. Almost half of what we get for a single point out of Woundmaker. And what I was going to say is we'll grab Lashmaster so we can put a couple of monsters for the final form of the, for the army. Although, wait. 3% and 3. What we could do is we could put 2 points in Lashmaster and get Eternal Hatred just because I like the sound of it. There we go, and I think that's good. We have Confer Bloodlust, which buffs monsters anyway. And we have Slaughtermaster. We don't need Raid Leader in this army. Just double, triple checking everything. But yeah, that's the final form of Lokhir. Good for you, Lokhir. Alright. Let's get everybody else doing their stuff. Okay, so you're recruiting, potentially, if we have money to recruit. And it looks like with those Towers of Dark Rituals that we've got, the recruitment is certainly working its way up there. Sirare. Which territory is this? Oh, it's nobody's. Alright, you're going to go and I guess sack Shinon. Somebody still needs to deal with Alberic, so I guess we're gonna have to send you to the Humble Chapel, or maybe even sack the Bearers of Quila while we're here. I wonder if there's a good enough garrison here somewhere. Maybe by the time the Humble Chapel is, maybe by the time we get there, it'll be something worthy of fighting Sirare. And we shall see. We shall see, right? Anyway, admin? Iron Disciplinarian, there we go. Still can't believe the other administrator, earmarked to be administrator, got a bunch of army buffing names. You have failed me, gambling. In a way. Anyway, Scintilla, you're waiting. Wait, actually, are you waiting? You have completed the Dreadmanse / Palace of Dread Knights, meaning Admiral Twairn. You've been waiting for this, sir. Go into Dread Expansion, build up immediately your enormous black arc, and go for 2 Cold One Dread Knights. I wish they didn't take so long to build. Huh, we can't build monsters here, can we? We cannot. A moment. You're a tier 5 black arc, meaning we could in theory... Wait a moment. How are the monster buildings here? You know what? Build this. Maybe we'll have Scintilla sit here. We're not actually doing too much right now, and frankly, we don't really care about this so much. I was thinking rather than having Lokhir waste 4 turns recruiting, we give the stuff needed to Scintilla and just have her ferry them down the river and meet him on the way to Elftown, since it's where he's going. / up to a passive stone. That'll save Lokhir 4 turns, which would be great. I guess we can't build it right now anyway because we lack the... Well, actually it depends. How many turns does it take to build Creeping Dread? It takes 4 turns. You know what, maybe we should start on those. Twairn, you have 4 points. If we build it in Xarian's army, they won't start at rank 9, though. They'll start at rank 7, which isn't horrible. I guess it would be better to do it with Scintilla then. Alright, Scintilla, trade to Admiral Xarian a few more of these Black Ark Corsairs. And just whichever ones. Okay, that's 18 out of 20, that's too many. Take out the Doomfire Warlocks and these guys, and maybe one less of these guys. Like so. Alright, then go back in here. Oh! Did I screw that up?
Yes.
I did screw that up, didn't I? Alright, my bad. Go back into regular stance. Trade 4. And keep the bolt thrower. Keep one of these. I don't really care. Something. Oh, do you want the assassin? We'll the assassin. Like so. Then you are going to sit here and you are going to talk to Xarian and you're going to start building these. Oh, for the love of... Why did it do that? 1, 2, 3, 4? Is that too many? We can't have too many. Lokhir has been wanting those guys. And then we'll give him a couple of monsters and then it'll be that. Alrighty. You can actually be sent off to do your own thing now as soon as you're ready to go, but anyway. Let's see if we can't find a fight. Namely, it looks like these guys have backed off. Hellebrand did not lose her army. In fact, she decided to not even bother. Well, that's fine. I think Balthanol wants a fight anyway, so let's attack Tower of Llenog, shall we? And what do we have here that's missing? We have Dark in the Skies, Ravage Rewards, and Call the Unworthy. We don't need Confer Bloodlust or Favor the Fortunate, as we have no super elite units in this particular army. Lashmaster, not necessarily like Night Lord rather, and Slaughter Lord also not necessary, meaning we are free to go through, I guess, Dreaded Slaver. Do we want Ward of Cain? I mean, we do, it's just not super critical right now. We want to start moving through Quartermaster, and probably Renowned and Feared as well. And, oh, I forgot about the heroes. Seek new Corsairs for obvious reasons, and then let's start going through Esteemed Combatant, but Strength through Spite first for that lovely aura. You can have Retinue Valet. Mostly I care about Retinue Physician, so we just gotta get to that. Let's go, I guess, Retinue Quartermaster. These guys are immune to attrition anyway, so it doesn't really do much. 1 leadership, 1 defending, whatever. Frankly, I'm not even sure Retinue Physician is all that useful anymore to these guys, but all good. You... 8% spell resistance for all units. I don't dislike that. Let's do that. Alright, and that's good. Hop on in, shall we? Let's see how much the sacking of Tower of Llenog will give us. And we've got some dang good stuff in here, don't we? And it is a minor settlement battle, yes. Celestial Dragon Guard, Jade Warrior Crossbows, Sky Lanterns are absolutely not to be underestimated. This is a good stack. Alright, good luck, both and all. Alright, here we go. Big old pile of Cathayans. The Black Arcs once again serving to give us plenty and variety in the way of foes to fight. We're going to start the battle off of both Vanguard deployed, well, really our entire army deployed on one side where they are in range of the enemy. By the looks of it, several units, but critically, there were some crane gunners there. You can't see them anymore because they're all dead at this point, and so is the first unit of Jade Warrior Crossbows. So I lied, there's one crane gunner. I'm booking it on out of there with 2 HP, or we're booking it on out of there with 2 HP. But not no more. Anyway, looks like there are some high elves attempting to help defend the enemy. Lokhir and Seaguard, each one that heads to the top of this little platform gets hit with a hail of bolts and, well, bolt throwers as well. I guess that's also bolts. There's bolts, I guess. Alright, working pretty well for us. We are deployed in such a way where the range shootout should hopefully go in our favor, and the enemy is unable to make good use of those platforms. Of course, our Lord, Balthanal Shadow Dart, is staying back where he is applying his Dark in the Skies ability to give a plus 20 reload skill to every unit here, in particular both the Shades and the Reaper bolt throwers. We've generally been doing more of a sort of a melee-focused campaign with the Dark Elves this time around than range focus, which you might be a little bit more used to for the Dark Elves, I guess, and especially in the early games, so nice to see these guys at least do some range work. Looks like that barricade's about to fall, and I'd wager the second one isn't in much better shape. There we go. Down goes the second barricade, and all those units that were using it to hide and get torn to shreds in the exact same way. We've sent our Sorceress now to deal with the enemy tower up here. Oh, she actually took a hit from one of the Jade Warrior crossbows, but hopefully she'll just land, hey, land and attack the tower. I mean, damn. Alrighty, but in the meantime, since nobody else can deal with that, at least not here, we are just going to keep on moving forward. Enemy did descend a unit of Sky Lanterns, and I actually prioritized destroying that unit as early as possible, at least the first one that we could reach, and then we'll go after the second one when possible. I've grown a very healthy respect for the Sky Lanterns. It's so weird. They used to feel like such a, I don't know, useless, mean unit that was I don't know, pretty awful, but then I played CATHAYAN SFO, and then they became my favorite unit in the Cathay roster. It's so bizarre. Yeah, I really love what SFO has done with them, and they're really quite strong. And when I played them, they had a very strong tendency to get the highest damage in the entire army, as long as it wasn't a very short battle, because they essentially just hover up there and keep firing in several directions for the entirety of the battle non-stop. And the damage, trickle damage though it may be, really racks up or stacks up, whatever. And of course they do have a fair bit of range, which you can stack even further as well. But I digress. These shootouts, such as it is, continues. Jade Warrior crossbows may have heavy armor, and some of them may have shields, but it isn't enough so far, at least, to deal with us. I'm going to send those Black Arc Corsairs, led by the Hydra's Fangs here, forward as well, shooting as they go, forcing the enemy crossbows to run. And this is yet another advantage of the sort of hybrid infantry, and that the Black Arc Corsairs are. They can run at enemy range units, and of course enemy range units will be, generally speaking, in skirmish mode, so they will try to back off, turning their backs and not firing, with some exceptions obviously, and all the while these guys will fire at them as they run. It works quite well. And if they close the distance, they'll just become that much more dangerous. Alright, well, it looks like that unit is done while backing off. There is another unit of Jade Warriors out here, and if they should choose to approach, good for them, but we will be able to slow them down with the stagger shot from our Shades here. Great sword variant, to be specific. No bleed, but with only a single unit of Jade Warrior, okay, 2 units of Jade Warriors down here, it's not going to be threatening enough for us to be super concerned. Alrighty, and the stagger shot drops him down to 29 speed. Oh wow, really? Only? That's a minus 15. Damn, these guys had a lot of speed on them. Huh. That's pretty good. I'm kind of impressed. 43 speed, they run as fast, well, nearly as fast as elves do. Maybe we just don't run fast enough, go figure. Anyway, hit the Sky Lantern with the Melkot's Mystifying Miasma, and we're going to reposition one of our artillery pieces to hopefully knock it down. Unfortunately, our sorcerers got pretty badly beat up destroying that tower, so we had to move the Long Touch of the Sea out there to deal with it itself. Over on the right flank, we do still have our melee units fighting. There isn't too much in the way of action for them in this particular battle, but they did, you know, trash 2 units of... I think it was 1 range unit, 1 melee unit. A couple of crowmen, of course, came down, but crowmen are so fragile that they had a very bad time of it either way. Alright, of course, the Death Hag is here to lead them. The Death Hag on that Shrine of Cain, providing that Blood Shield of Cain aura. And also being quick enough on that thing to just distract enemies like this. Gonna charge those Celestial Dragon crossbows, net them down with that vile net that we now have for all of our units. And then send in our Corsairs to deal with these guys. Of course, the Celestial Dragon crossbows are actually pretty darn solid in melee attack and defense. When playing Miao Ying, I essentially use them as the sort of melee portion of her army. And it does work quite well. Now they can certainly hold the line if needed to. Or especially if built to do so. Here, though, they get torn to shreds pretty darn quickly. Actually, out of curiosity, whether their main... even their max HP at 14,000 is more than Executioners. Ah, come on, Gabe. Poor Dark Elves. They don't get any HP, but anyway. Looks like Jade Warriors have arrived, and it looks like the enemy wants to have a little bit of more melee action this time around. I'm all for it, however, and I'm sure that the Death Hag is very much all for it as well. Too bad the Witch Elves on top of the Shrine of Cain don't, you know, I don't know, leap off and attack or do something. Again, there's the frickin' animations from the War Shrines of Chaos, which is another support unit, just made me jealous for all the older support units who don't get, you know, neat animations with the riders on top of the mount. I feel like they should be doing something. Nobody, of course, is hurt as much as Aranessa, but, you know, Anyway, the Jade Warriors will be torn to shreds. I'm sure it's Halberds versus Twin Blades after all, so that's definitely going to go in our favor here. And the Halberds will rout or shatter, and it looks like the last of the enemy units is done. Just got to get to that Dragon-Blooded Shugengun, who for some reason is booking it on out of there. I actually tried to give chase to said Dragon-Blooded Shugengun with Trillian, our Death Hag, and then she ran away. And okay, she's coming here, and she's just running, trying to block off the Dragon-Blooded there from running away and actually making her shatter. There we go. And the last unit will shatter, and with that, the battle is ours. Nice little fight, a big old pile of defenders, lots and lots of crossbows to take care of, but it looks like we did pretty darn well in terms of minimizing casualties. Alrighty, there we go. A very nice fight for the, whatever this place was called, Tower of Llenog, perhaps. And certainly the enemy did fight back for a while, or at least hold ground for a while. They weren't able to do all that much in the way of damage to us, in the way of actually killing off models. Unfortunately, I did forget the Sorceress, leaving her to attack the shooting tower from the air on her Pegasus, but unfortunately the shooting tower did a little bit too much damage to her, so she was the only one who was significantly damaged there. But what can you do? And oh, I forgot to check who did the best, but I will. Sack the place. Hey, and another envoy, isn't it lovely? I'm sure everybody did well here. Keel haulers, Eminars, Reapers, Privateers of Astalia, Black Hearts, Hatreds, Whispers, Tricksters of Karond Kar, the Word of Verda, Deadly Shadows, Hydra's Fangs, Chthonic Creed, and a Long Touch of the Sea. Since I forgot, everybody gets their name read. Occupy. Alrighty, and while we don't want the place necessarily, although this will allow us to build a new Black Ark next turn, but what we can do is trade it to these guys, hopefully for a lot of reputation. They're still kind of near to Letha Nar's faction, and doesn't mean they'll keep it. is what I'm saying, the territory. Alright, it looks good to me. Anyway, with that, folks, we're out of time, and I'm going to call the episode here. Just wanted to make sure that we got a nice little battle out of the way, and it's not like we fought a lot of Cathayans over the course of this campaign, but we have been getting a lot of variety and, you know, sort of map presence in this particular run, which is another just lovely thing about those black arcs of ours. Anyway, I'm going to call it here. Got to do all that admin in the form of moving the tech thieves around and all that annoying stuff, and probably do a little bit of recruiting with somebody. And just to double check, although Surai is now done, so we're nearly there anyway. Anyway, next time we will proceed probably to South Bank and capture Altdorf. Might keep it, might not, I haven't decided, and then afterwards move north, hopefully to meet up with the rest of the recruits that are going to be earmarked for Lokhir's army's final form, and, well, there's lots more reaving to do pretty much anywhere we please, so that's the name of the game, and we continue onwards on the path to the Sword of Cain. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.